Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. We are live once again. It's an emergency broadcast. I'm buying once again of the S&P 500. I posted it everywhere on my socials. We are a members-only live stream. We are here for investors, and I've just bought more. I've got news coming in left, right, and centre. We're waiting for Trump to speak from the White House cabinet. Get ready. I just bought another 10 shares of the S&P 500. We're watching multiple screens. The reason why I bought is the valuation is right. Revaluing all the businesses, oversold, even though it's more than it was yesterday. I'm happy to buy another 10. We're getting ready. It's all about value. You cannot time the market. I know we timed the market yesterday. We did very, very well on that. But my overall is still down below my average. So I'm happy to buy another 10 here. I'll buy another 20 if we go lower from here. So we're waiting for the White House to speak. Donald Trump, we got news coming in from everywhere. Please tap the like button. It's a Trump emergency meeting, cabinet, and we might get an announcement about China. And if we do, we're up to 20%. You think yesterday was a rally? I told you a $60,000 day is coming. The valuation is there. Everything is oversold. And we are making decisions based upon value and nothing else. Today we had core inflation down. Inflation is down. The markets are not even paying attention to the inflation numbers. These are huge numbers. Today, the inflation came literally crashing down and no one is paying any attention. It's ridiculous. And any other day, it's a 10% rally just on these numbers with the Fed about to drop rates and everyone's losing their head, running around like headless chickens, not knowing what's going on. Focus on value, and this is life-changing. Life-changing positions here, and I am all in. Still got $33,000 in buying power. Get ready to see my portfolio explode. A $60,000 day is on the cards. I told you that. We've now got the index dropped to 5. Now remember, it went on COVID. It was 4. We went to 3 yesterday. The great financial crisis was 14. So it just gives you an idea of how senseless and oversold everything is. And you're all being totally played. You're all going to miss the greatest moment in history when everybody is too busy trying to tell you the markets are going to zero, or you're all going to go, to $1 million. But it's in between. It's the reality is right there in between. So it's all about value. It's not about price. It's not about Trump. It's not about price action. It's about value and common sense and good old-fashioned fundamental principles will win out the day. It's as simple as that. If you are in a position now to buy the S&P and bring down your average, and I never talk about averages on this show because it's a silly thing to talk about, quite honestly. But if you are in a position, you've got to say I've got $282,000 now. My God, nearly 300 grand just on my brokerage account. But you can see I'm still below. Total return is down. I was up like 30%, down 4%. I'm still able to bring my average down. My average is 496. And the price is 475. So I'm still able to bring it down. Now, even though I don't focus on that, that is what I'm actually focusing on at the moment, because we're oversold. Opportunity to buy. If you believe that you're oversold, if you believe that the average is the valuation is all out of kilter, then this is your opportunity. It's as simple as that. So we're watching the S&P now down 475. Voo, this is. So, wow. Anyway, tap the like button. This is pretty wild. I wasn't going to be here. I was supposed to be making videos celebrating our 1 anniversary on the Extra channel. But this is just too good to miss. And we're waiting for Donald Trump to speak from the White House.
Both of those.
Stand by.
Okay. I know one big question throughout all of this was, where is the psyche of the retail investor? People who are not, necessarily used to seeing this level of volatility. Now,
yes,
certainly if they were around in COVID, they remember it then. But you've also had new products introduced to retail, things like leveraged ETFs. They've been very popular. Kate Rooney is following that money for us with an update on what you might be hearing what you might be seeing as you follow that money for us, because this is your space too.
Scott, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's been a lot of dip buying, but retail investors have also been pouring into leveraged ETFs, especially the ones that offer amplified exposure to some of their favorite tech stocks. So these funds, they magnify both the gains and then the losses. They are meant to be used for short-term strategies or
bad idea.
They're traditionally used more by hedge funds. But yesterday, so two of the funds that were among the most traded names by retail investors, if you look at Fidelity's leaderboard,
don't do those things.
Tends to be a barometer for some of the retail action. A fund that gives 3 times the return on both the up and down side of the NASDAQ 100, the TQQQ. It was the 4th most popular trade out there, and then an ETF that delivers twice the daily performance of a Bitcoin proxy MicroStrategy. A very risky move there. At one point yesterday, they were up 30 and 50% respectively. Today, they're down, last I checked, around 20% each. Varies there a little bit.
But waiting to go to Donald Trump live.
He saw an explosion and has seen an explosion in levered long volume over recent days. You can see the chart there on the right side. $45 billion worth of action amid some of the recent volatility. The boom had been slowly building last year when assets jumped 51%.
Really bad. These are ETFs for gamblers and speculators who want to get greedy in 5 minutes. The only winner is the hedge fund.
Investors cannot shut that out despite the unlikelihood of long-term profits playing out with these games. And then FactSet analysts telling me that retail seems to be attracted to these exceptionally risky and very hard to time products, holding them well beyond a single day, and that is well beyond the period for which they were designed.
Exactly. Okay. It's a complete scam.
Kate, thank you very much.
It's drawing in all the ETF, all those that buy these super high promising dividend platforms. It's all a joke. You just heard it there. They're designed to benefit the hedge funds, not you.
Most of the volume taking place in those products is hedge funds. And I can't. It's hard for me to imagine $50 billion worth of volume in those products, and it's like people trading from their houses. I just don't believe it. But that's fine. Put that aside. If you really want to know what retail is doing, pay attention to Vanguard, and they're buying. They're buying. JP Morgan confirmed it, and Bank of America confirmed it. Bank of America said last week every single one of its client types, including corporates, institutions, hedge funds, and what they call private client, but that's rich retail, all net buyers, and Vanguard flows continued unabated. That's like, from my perspective, that's the mainstream retail investor, and they are taking advantage of this because, to your point, they have muscle memory from COVID, and they were rewarded really quickly for buying panicky markets then, and I think they're doing the same thing right now.
But these things make it seem like options, zero-date options, are bonds. These things are so risky. They're weapons of destruction.
Exactly.
It's like 200,000 people in the country that are responsible for 90% of that volume, and it's a sideshow. It's not the main event.
Let me take a quick break. We'll obviously keep following the market activity today. We're off the lows. But the S&P is still down.
There you go. You heard it there. That's some really important stuff. You can see what retail are doing. Those risky stocks, those over-leveraged stocks, those dividend high-paying stocks. You've heard it there. Even though I don't take what these people say because they're all doing it for their own selfish reasons, do not do it. You simply buy the S&P under value. People are taking these risks. They don't understand. They're going to get wiped out. We're seeing it. I mean, hedge funds are those that are short in the stocks. They're the ones that run these platforms. Absolutely crazy. They don't do it for your benefit. These platforms are not set up to make you rich. They're set up for them. You can trade on it. Own the S&P. It's a very, very simple strategy. Very, very simple. And you're about to get rewarded. This is not going to last much longer. We're at the final legs of this bear market now. I don't think this is the beginning of it. I think it's the final legs. I'm waiting for Donald Trump to go live and bring us the news. So let me bring all the comments in. Let me bring all the comments on the screen. What the heck happened now? This is like the worst roller coaster ever. More like pathetic tariff gains again. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's because China have said they are going to continue and stepping up on their tariff war. But most importantly, is because Trump has just formed an emergency cabinet meeting. He's about to speak. When we get it live, I'll bring it to you. I wasn't going to be here this afternoon. I'm supposed to be having my lunch. I'm starving. But I'm bringing this to you because it's important, again, to go to work when everybody is fearful again, doesn't know what they're doing. Time to buy more of what you missed last time. This is an opportunity. Yes, I've just bought another 10 shares of the S&P 500. I grabbed 70 more shares of IBRX. I would not be buying any single stocks. I think you take your money from your the S&P and then trim and then buy on a real day. You can't value individual stocks. That, in my opinion, is a bad idea. I wouldn't be doing it, but what you do is up to you. Any of those leverage plans, bad idea. It's the same message every day, all right? Anyway, don't let we're not going to be rude. We're not going to be rude. We're going to be respectful, okay? Up or down, holding till the end. Just unfortunate this damage is causing. Yes, it is. It's only causing damage if you buy on the. Here we go. Donald Trump live. Here we go.
In the light of, as you can see on the right there, continuing falls.
Going
on the
live to Donald Trump now.
People, that's the Dow Jones.
This is what you tuned in for.
0.3% as people worry about the ongoing trade war with China. Let's have a listen.
We're talking about a lot of different things. Consumer prices have actually dropped.
They have. Inflation's coming down. You shouldn't be selling, you should be buying.
Little inflation.
Jonathan V has
Energy
become
costs
a
are
member.
down. Interest rates are probably down. They scatter, but they're probably down.
They are.
Prescription drug prices are even to down. We're doing very well. It's been amazing. We had a big day yesterday. There'll always be transition difficulty, but we had in history, it was the biggest day in history, the markets. So we're very, very happy with the way the country's running. We're trying to get the world to treat us fairly. This is something that should have been done 25 years ago, and it wasn't. Should have been done 40 years ago, and it wasn't.
Bought 10 more.
But no president was willing to take it on. But you had to. It's not sustainable. It wasn't sustainable. And as you know, without a lot of money being added, which is a lot of money that we could add, the country is making approximately $2 billion a day. And when you think of it, we've never done that before, never come close to it. And the number is probably $3.5 billion a day. And that makes us a very strong country. But we have Scott here and Howard and some of the people.
I've just bought the bottom again. That's the second time.
The biggest problem they have is
I've caught the bottom twice now. It's going up quickly. I hope you bought. Too late now.
And we're working with a lot of different countries, and it's all going to work out very well. I think it's going to work out really very well. But we're in good shape. There's no inflation. There's very little inflation.
Don't chase it again.
And I went 4 years without inflation, and I tariffed. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China and others, taxes in China. But we took in hundreds of billions of dollars a year from China.
Yep.
And we had no inflation.
Exactly what it is.
So we think we're in very good shape. We think we're doing very well. Again, there'll be a transition cost and transition problems, but in the end, it's going to be
cheers, mate.
It's going to be a beautiful thing. We're doing again what we should have done many years ago. We let it get out of control, and we allowed some countries to get very big and very rich.
I just bought that dip right at the bottom.
At our expense, and can't let that happen. It's not a sustainable formula. So I wanted to just thank everybody at the table, and maybe I'll go around and ask some of you a little short couple of answers. Pete just got back from Panama, and he's been all over the place, and you want to give us a little report on that?
Don't chase it. The time has come and gone again.
Everyone at this table is doing an incredible job, by the way, I have to say. Incredible. And the relationships are, it's like they're friends. They're really, the relationships are very strong, really good, really strong. And these meetings are very good. And I think, I don't believe there's any other president that allowed the press to come into a meeting such as this. These are very sacred meetings. These are very private meetings.
I want to show you. I bought the bottom, just so you know.
And I think it's good. I think it's a good...
Another 10 shares at 474.
The word you like to use, Jeff, is transparent.
Now at 477.
So
Don't buy, it's too late.
And,
I posted
we'll
it on
do
X
that by starting
and in
with
Extra.
Pete. Go ahead, Pete.
Yes, Mr. President, we just got back from Panama last night. We were at the Panama Canal with our Southcom commander ships, F-18s, troops, and signed a couple of historic deals. One which is with the Panama Canal Authority, a framework for U.S. vessels, first and free through the Panama Canal.
Right.
And then also a memorandum of understanding with their
Can everyone tap the like button, share this out to the Lucasades, please? We need everyone to know what's going on. It's a buying opportunity. Tap the like button.
As well as a
Thank
naval
you.
station and air station jointly with Panama to secure the Panama Canal from Chinese influence. That's something you said, we're taking back the canal. China's had too much influence. Obama and others let them creep in. We, along with Panama, are pushing them out, sir. And so we had a very successful trip there. President Molino sends his regards, very complimentary of the U.S. as he's a great ally, and I think they want the communist Chinese out. And with our troops there partnering with their forces, we've got a chance to push them all the way out, sir.
We've moved a lot of troops to Panama and filled up some areas that we used to have, and we didn't have any longer, but we have them now. And I think it's in very good control, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Pete. Very good. Howard?
So, so we've have so many countries to talk to. It is, it's incredible. I think Scott and I'm not sure we could ever have enough time in the day to talk to all these countries because they want to talk and they want to talk now, and they have come with offers that they never, ever would have come with, but for the moves that the president has made.
I hope you bought.
That
The opportunity was there. I put it on my socials. I told you what I was doing in Extra.
I think you're going to see historic deals, one after the other. And then I'm very excited that within a week and a half, we're going to start with the gold card. And the Trump card is coming out. And we're very excited about that. And that's coming soon. So very excited.
Good. Thank you very much. Good job. Linda?
Well, on a couple of fronts, we have been addressing the issue of anti-Semitism on campuses. There's been some grant funding and contract funding that we've reviewed, and some we've canceled and some we've put on hold, waiting for that, while we do an investigation. On the other side of what my responsibilities are, and having education go back to the states, we're meeting and talking with governors. I was with, this week, all 50 commissioners of education around the country, and because we also want to provide them with tools and best practices as education does move back to the states. Making great progress, great response from the states, and very positive.
And what about colleges? You're holding back $400 million from Columbia.
From Columbia.
$8 billion from Harvard. Can you imagine the money we pay Harvard? They have a $60 billion fund, and we're giving them $8 billion. And we're trying to figure that out. And then they hire de Blasio, the worst mayor in the history of New York, and they hire the woman from Chicago who was a disaster, total disaster, and they pay them massive salaries, and they're supposed to be teaching you government. That's not Harvard. That's not Harvard the way it used to be. So do you have anything to say about that? The dollars you're holding back from quite a few universities that were not behaving.
Yeah, and the other, there's some Princeton, Cornell, others that are coming in, and actually getting calls now from the presidents of the universities who really do want to come in and sit down and have discussions. And so we're investigating them, but in the meantime, we're holding back the grant and the fund money.
Thank you. Great job. Thank you.
Very thankful for the House voting for the President's.
Please tap the like button. This will share it out to more people. Lots of good information here. Thank you.
Made a ton of progress this week in working with members to ensure that a desire for flexibility in the Senate was not misconstrued as a desire not to slow and do spending reforms. And so we're very thankful for that. And now we can get after writing that bill, getting the President as big a package of his agenda to his desk. So very good week.
Good. We just got the House vote. And now we're well on our way to getting, as we call it, the great big beautiful bill. It's a beauty. There's never been a bill like this one. We're trying to get it all into one beautiful bill. It's tax cuts, regulation cuts, and many other things. The border, a lot of money for the border. We and you're doing a fantastic job. So, but we just got a report that we, as you know, you knew before us. Were you surprised?
If you want a comment shared on the screen, put it in the chat, and I'm sharing all the comments on the screen.
So I think we're going to be in very good shape. Okay, please.
Mr. President, last year, the Chinese received 1,700 orders for new ships. American shipyards received 5. Under your leadership, like so many other industries, we are going to revitalize and make shipbuilding and maritime great again with these blue-collar jobs. These are the cranes, the ports, opportunity zones, and drive that investment back in. And we have, under that executive order, and also one to streamline foreign military sales for people that want to buy our equipment, and of course acquisition reform, all just this week under your leadership, Mr. President.
So we're going to be rebuilding our shipbuilding business. We may order, would have to go to Congress for this, but we may buy some ships from other countries that we're close to and that do great jobs with ships. But we're going to start the process of rebuilding. We don't really essentially build ships anymore, which is ridiculous. It's going to be a very big business for us in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, we have countries that do very well at building ships, and we'll be dealing with those countries, and we may be ordering top-of-the-line ships from those countries. And within a fairly short period of time, we'll be building our own ships. So we'll probably have to go to Congress for that, but we're not going to have a problem. Susie, thank you very much for the job you've done. Go ahead, please.
I just want to make sure you know that this cabinet, I think, pretty uniquely collaborates and cooperates and works together to accomplish all that you've asked them to do, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for that.
It's true. You're doing a great job.
I just bought more, right, exactly at that dip,
Great job.
just there.
Go ahead.
Mr. President,
I announced it on all my socials.
EPA was strangulating the economy. The Trump EPA understands it's not a binary choice. We can protect the environment and grow the economy. Working with Doge and Elon Musk, we've now canceled $22 billion worth of grants. And we have launched what is the largest deregulatory action in the history of the country. Just in one agency. That's how much of a mess the Biden EPA left us. It is going to end up reducing the cost of living. It's going to create jobs. It's going to make it easier to purchase a car. It'll be easier to heat your home. We're proud of this effort. The effort that we have is fulfilling the mandate that you earned from the American public. Clean air, land, and water for all Americans, unleashing energy dominance, permitting reform, advancing cooperative federalism, making America the AI capital of the world, and bringing back American auto jobs. When you called me that day asking for me to take this position, I was honored. And you were very specific and clear in what you wanted us to accomplish. We understand our mission, and at the Trump EPA, we're going to make you proud.
Great job. You're doing a great job. And you have a lot of applications for approvals for power plants, which are going to really power the regular plants, and they're going to be right next to each other because we can't rely on our grid. It's old and it's tired, and it's very subject to being attacked, whether by rain or by bombs or by anything else. And we're letting people build their own power plants, and these are a lot of them being built with the AI and beyond the AI chips, and we're letting them build their own power, and never been done before. We're going to get it done quickly and approved quickly as part of a plant. They'll have a sort of be their own power company.
There it goes.
And it's very exciting. They couldn't believe it when
I gave
told
the
them
buy
that. They said,
signal.
"We'll
I
get
put it
you
on
the
my
approvals
socials.
very
I
fast
bought
as part
more.
of your regular plan.
There it is. Don't
You're
chase
gonna
it.
build
Second
electric
chance for
producing
everybody.
plants,
Good
and
luck.
it's very exciting.
Very nice.
And they're able to do it very quickly. And
This time I trim.
Very well. And
This
you made
time
it
I
possible.
trim.
Thank you. You have a lot of applications.
Take the
For
profit
some of
this
the
time.
biggest plants that have ever been built in the world. These are serious plants, aren't they? Huh?
Approved. We are open for business. Working with Secretary Burgum, Secretary Wright, we are going to make you proud.
Sean?
First off, Mr. President, it's Brooke's birthday today, so she keeps getting younger, so happy birthday to Brooke.
We go to work when
I wanna thank
required.
you as well for the shipbuilding at EO. Again, to build ships, we also need mariners to sail those ships. I was just up at Kings Point for the Merchant Marine Academy a couple days ago, and we have some of the greatest young men and women who are learning how to be mechanical engineers to rebuild and
yes,
fix,
$10 of the
engines on
S&P.
those
It's the
ships, but
same
also
as
how to
buying
sail
one
ships.
share.
I
Makes
would
no
tell you that,
difference.
over the past decades, this academy has become, it needs some love. It's been a little bit dilapidated. We have to invest in sailors, and I appreciate you taking the initiative. To be a global power, we have to build ships.
Here it
and have
goes.
sailors to sail those ships.
You
These
had
are
the
very
chance to
people that
buy
help
it.
Pete should we come into points
I'll
of
be
crisis
trimming
to
in
support the
about 5
military.
minutes.
So thank you for that.
Oh my gosh.
Number two, the last administration announced 3,200 projects, big, beautiful roads and bridges. Most of them are good. But they announced them, they didn't sign a grant agreement. 3,200, so the money doesn't go out the door to build the infrastructure in the country. And it's fun to do
I'm taking
an
profit this
announcement.
time.
It's actually the harder work to put together these grant agreements. So we're doing the work right now at DOT to get these grant agreements done and build the projects. Most of them are good. And they also put in all of this green and social justice requirements.
It's getting
on
too
roads and
easy in
bridges.
it to
We're
make
pulling-
money.
We're pulling all that out.
Should be illegal.
And putting the money toward the infrastructure, not the
Oh,
social
dear.
movement from the last administration.
Good steal.
Should be illegal to make money this easy.
Green paper mache. Okay, thanks. Great job.
Sir, first, we are, I would say, more than friends. We've all become family. And I think that what you have assembled in your vision is a turning point and an inflection point in American history. And so just being a part of that is the greatest honor. So thank you for that. And again, just the relationships here and the honor and respect we have for each other is a reflection of you and your leadership. So I just wanted to say that first. The second thing I want to say is that on behalf of the farmers and ranchers, food security is national security. We have to be able to feed ourselves. And your idea of using tariffs along with deregulation and tax cuts, but your idea of using tariffs to
I share all
ensure that
members'
we
comments
are
on screen.
putting forward and putting America
Make a
first.
comment.
No one understands
I will share
that
it on the
better than our
screen.
farmers and our ranchers. But having said that, emerging from 4 years of Biden with a 30% increase in inputs for our farmers and ranchers, with an almost $50 billion trade deficit. When we left the first time, it was zero, meaning that they are hurting. So the period of uncertainty we're in, they know that your vision will move us into an age of prosperity for all Americans, but for my people, for the farmers and ranchers, unlike any they have seen before. And I think they are really, really excited and so grateful for your leadership. But also, you have never failed to say that you have the backs of our farmers and our ranchers. It was the first phone call that I had after I was voted with the Senate, and that message just resonates with almost an 85% support of you in the last election. They're with you. Interestingly, the biggest budget driver at the United States Department of Agriculture is not farming and ranching or agriculture, it's food stamps. And so as we emerge and embark, Secretary Kennedy and I, on your vision of making America healthy again, a massive part of that is realigning and reworking our food stamp program so that it better serves those who need it. And yeah, to the point of getting the transgender, DEI, Green New Deal out of the USDA and realigning is really important. So
It's out of the
thank
military,
you.
right?
Yes, sir.
Is it 100% out, would you say?
99.9, sir. I'm going to get that last point
Get the
one out.
rest of it out. We've got a much different military, I will tell you. Thanks very much. Good job. And eggs are down.
Eggs are
Big,
down.
right?
Yes.
Big.
Yes, sir. Wholesale prices. Retail will come. Easter is the Super Bowl for eggs. So, you know, there may be a little fluctuation, but no, we feel really good about it. Thank you.
That's what I hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I'd echo what Howard said on the trade queue, that we've got over 75 countries that want to come in. So it'll be Treasury, Commerce, Jameson at USTR, and we're putting a process in place. And as you said, you're going to be part of the negotiations too, because you know I've had these countries.
Technically, I did win, and I'll explain it to you in the video when I bring it out.
Well,
I've got the behind the scenes of that story.
Bring your best deal on the budget. It's moving quickly in the House and the Senate, thanks to your leadership. We're also going to have debt ceiling in there, so we're going to get an increase in the debt ceiling. So, and that will be the done and dusted for
part of the bill that we just got to vote on today.
Part of the bill. It'll be done and dusted for 2 years. We won't have to worry about that. And then
that's a good story.
I did a speech yesterday to 1,400
no more
small
shutdowns.
And community bankers, and they were so happy to hear from your administration. And I told them Wall Street's done great for the past 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. It can continue doing great.
Please tap the like button, take us over 100, and it will be shared out on YouTube. This is a big story. Thank you.
Through emphasis on Main Street, your Main Street agenda, bringing back jobs, that is going to power the smaller communities. And then finally, the bond auction went very well yesterday. We had a lot of foreigners show up as the support, showing that the U.S. is still the best place to invest. The inflation report, as you said, was quite good. And energy prices are down more than 20% since January 20th.
Amazing.
That's great. Really good. Good numbers.
Great number.
Thank you. Pam?
President, we've had some great wins in the last few days that, you were overwhelmingly elected by the biggest majority. The U.S. Americans want you to be president because of your agenda, and the courts are ruling that you have the authority to determine how the money of this country will be spent. That's what the American citizens wanted, and that's what they're getting. An example of that Friday was the Department of Education, that you can determine how the money will be spent. No more DEI, and that impacts every agency across the board. On the civil side again, NLRB. We had a big win in the Supreme Court there. OPM, a big win there. But also 16,000 workers there. But also on the criminal side, the Alien Enemies Act. We are winning there. And, your directive to me was to keep America safe, and that's what we're doing. Whether it's the alien enemies, all of these gangs, and they are enemies of our country.
Thank you for those that have shared it. It goes part of winning the trophy for the best Lucas Aid of the year. We have a competition every year. Thank you for all the shares, all the retweets. Thank you.
Yesterday
the best ever trophy and prize coming this year.
Defendants with $500 million of pure cocaine coming into our country to kill our kids. They were caught. They will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. These gang members are going back to where they came, or they're going to an El Salvador prison at your directive. And, you also gave us a directive to prosecute the people who are going after Tesla to the fullest extent of the law, some of the greatest police work I've seen. We've made 4 arrests. There will be no negotiations at your directive. They're all looking at 20 years in prison, and within the next 24 hours, you're going to be seeing another huge arrest on a Tesla dealership, President. And that person will be looking at least 20 years in prison with no negotiations.
That's great. That's great. That will stop it. Cold.
Domestic terrorism.
Thanks. Doing a great job, too. Thank you very much. Lori, please.
Mr. President, accountability matters. That's what we're recognizing. With our partners at the Department of Labor for Government Efficiency, just a few weeks ago, we realized there's about $4.4 billion in COVID funds that were not used, that the state coffers were just holding on to. Out of that, we've returned $1.4 billion back to the state treasury, so essentially to the American people, and we'll go back and claw the rest of those billions of dollars back. And on the heels of that, late last night, we're understanding unemployment insurance fraud. That trust needs to be whole for the American people. When we need it for who deserves it. That's not what we're seeing in the numbers that we saw last night, again, exposed by our partners at DOJ at the Department of Labor. Since 2020, over $400 million of payments have gone out already. And when you hear these numbers, apparently in the United States, we have over almost 25,000 people who are over 115 years old who are collecting $59 million that we have sent out to people. Talk about fraudulent behavior. Mr. President, 28,000 people between 1 and 5 years old have collected fraudulent payments at the tune of $254 million has gone out. And lastly, 10,000 people who have not been born yet, 15 years into the future, $69 million, and they haven't even been born yet. In one case, they will be born 129 years from now. The United States government sent them $41,000, and they're not born yet. So under the Department of Labor. Those are the things that we're uncovering. I couldn't be more honored to tell the American people that we're bringing back their dollars and we're saving them and returning them to the United States Treasury.
Very good.
Also, jobs numbers. Last Friday, 228,000 new jobs were reported. That is good for the American people. That is my primary job, is to grow that workforce under your leadership. So we've kicked off the America at Work tour, and we'll be visiting all 50 states, and I'll be working with my colleagues here to do
Please
just
tap the
that.
like
So
button.
thank
This
you,
shares it
Mr.
out to more
President.
people. Thank
We're
you.
going to grow this economy. We're going to keep our focus on the American worker.
So you're finding tremendous fraud, though. Those numbers are really bad when you're
Unheard of.
over 115 years old. And I think you had mentioned the oldest person in our country is 114 years old. That's pretty good.
A woman living in Pennsylvania, but apparently there's 24,000 more of them that are 115 or older. That we're
I hope you hear that. So we have 24,000 older than the oldest person.
Definitely did.
That's terrible. And what are we doing about that? How do we get that money back?
Yeah, so we're working with our IGs to do the further investigation. The House and Senate, we had a 5-year statute of limitations. We've got an extension on that, another 5 years. And so the goal, in my opinion, we should never have a statute of limitations to return the American dollars back to the Treasury when there's fraud. But at this point, we will continue to work hard and double down and return those dollars to the
No,
Treasury.
it's not. It's great for US investors. I'll be buying even more in a minute.
Mr.
If it carries
President,
on again.
Thank you for your leadership at the border. For the second month in a row, you have broken the record in the history of the nation for the lowest number of encounters at the border, which is absolutely remarkable. You have said that America's laws matter and that they'll be enforced, and we're hard at work now to get people to go back home that are here illegally. So the Alien Registration Act has been in place long enough now.
All
that
members have a
those
voice.
individuals that are here illegally, if they haven't registered, then they can be charged criminally, and they can face fines up to $1,000 a day and face deportation if they don't go home, and they'll never get the chance to come back to America. So we're encouraging people to use the CBP Home app to register, and we're working on the resources and funding to buy them a plane ticket to send them home. I went to El Salvador, Colombia, and Mexico, and those countries and others are thinking about setting up programs to support these individuals when they get back to their countries. So when they get there, they'll have housing and food assistance, and so making sure that these folks have the opportunity to go home so that they can get the chance to come back to America is important. And
So it's a very big self-deport operation that we're starting.
thousands of people have already
Yeah.
self-deported. Well, we're just going to, when you have 21 million people that need to go home because they're here breaking our laws, then we need to facilitate that. And I've been working with the governors a lot lately on several different issues. One of them has been on FEMA for recommendations on how to do exactly what you've directed us to do. And then also I sent a letter and communicated with them that they need to be setting up a SCIF. Some of our governors don't have secure facilities to have national security issues. I think one of the jobs Homeland Security has is to give communication down to states, to local cities and communities. And so recommending they get a SCIF, they have secure comms with them at all times or nearby so that they can have national security conversations.
We're sharing all comments from either side of the aisle. Everyone has a voice. Just don't be rude.
Management officers, but they don't necessarily have somebody designated when it comes to a national security issue that we may need to communicate with them on. And I think American people need to know that Real ID will be required to travel on May 7th. So those governors have been notified to communicate that at home. We don't want anybody to get delayed and not be able to travel when they get to an airport. And this will also help us bring integrity back to all of our IDs and how they're used.
I
how
bought
they're
just
used
here again today.
For issuing driver's licenses,
that
and
exact
governors
bottom
know
there,
how I feel about making
my
sure
Bank
their
of
driver's
America,
licensing system
signal.
has integrity, because a lot of people use
You might
their
get another
driver's
chance in a
license
minute.
to vote. And the backbone of our country and the foundation is election integrity. So we're giving all those directions to our governors and communicating that so they can lead on it as well.
And we're going to work with people so that if they go out in a nice way, go back to their country, we're going to work with them right from the beginning on trying to get them back in legally. Is that right? So it gives you a real incentive. Otherwise, they never come back. They'll never be allowed once a certain period of time goes by, which is probably going to be 60 days. we're also going to work with farmers that if they have strong recommendations for their farms for certain people,
please tap the like button. It shares it out to more people. Thank you.
Farmers, and then come back and go through a process, a legal process. But we have to take care of our farmers and hotels and various places where where they need the people. And we're going to be working with you very carefully on that. So a farmer will come in with a letter concerning certain people saying they're great, they're working hard. We're going to slow it down a little bit for them. And then we're going to ultimately bring them back. They'll go out, they're going to come back as legal workers. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Which I think will be I think it's very important to do. Okay, thank you very much. Great job. Jameson, I watched you testify for the last
he did
couple of days. You're on every night at 3 o'clock in the morning. You did great.
This is why I said don't chase it. You might get another chance here in a few moments.
You've been
It'll
keeping
be
us
very
very
quick.
busy. Last week, you started a reordering of international trade, something that hasn't happened for 80 years, something that should have happened decades ago. And you know that. You've known that for a long time. That's why you have us all working on this. You came into an emergency situation where President Biden left us with a $1.2 trillion trade deficit. It's the largest of any country in human history, the largest. So you declared an emergency, you took action.
You say the largest in history, right?
In history.
There's never been anything like what he left us. He left us a mess. His whole administration was a mess. So go ahead.
So you declared an emergency, you imposed a trade action, so now you have a tariff on the world, it promotes U.S. manufacturing, it protects U.S. workers, and you've also given room for negotiation during this time so we can open export markets for our farmers and other producers and American workers. And this is why the unions vote for you, this is why the workers vote for you, this is why the families want you to be the president, because you're standing up for American workers and American communities. We've had countries come in over the past couple of weeks that represent more than half of global domestic GDP, more than half. That's who's coming in to talk to you and to your advisors about how to have reciprocal trade, how to have fair trade. Wouldn't have happened without you.
Thank you very much.
Good time is coming, definitely.
Lovely line.
Well, thanks to your fantastic leadership, this amazing cabinet, and the very talented Doge team, I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in FY26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. And I mean, and some of it is just absurd, like people getting unemployment insurance who haven't been born yet. I mean, I think anyone can appreciate whether, I mean, come on, that's just crazy. You know, some of these things, people ask me like, well, how are you going to find waste and fraud in the government?
That's the view you'll never get of Elon Musk, the back of his head on his ear.
It's very common. it's as the military would say, target-rich environment. So I think we're doing a lot of good in excellent collaboration with the cabinet to achieve these savings, and it'll actually result in better services for the American people, and that we're going to be spending their tax dollars in a way that is sensible and fair and good.
And your people are fantastic. In fact, hopefully they'll stay around for the long haul. We'd like to keep as many as we can. They're great, smart, sharp, right? Finding things that nobody would have thought of. Very computer savvy.
Yes. We're working with hard to get the Trump Gold Card operational, hopefully in the next week or so.
That'll be very exciting. It's
really exciting.
That's a pathway to citizenship into the United States.
It's a big deal.
Yep, it's a big deal. Thank you very much. Great job you're doing.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to your leadership and setting the mandate of transparency and accountability across the U.S. government. I'm bringing that transparency and accountability to the intelligence community, first and foremost, to make sure that you and your cabinet have that real-time, relevant, apolitical, objective intelligence to best inform whether it's negotiations for peace, negotiations around tariffs, the great work that you are leading around the cabinet today. Secondly, working with Department of Homeland Security and the FBI to increase our information sharing to achieve your goal of countering the narcotic trafficking and our ability to go after cartels now designated as foreign terrorists. I met with the National Sheriff's Association this week being able to work to make sure that the information that they are getting on the ground, that local law enforcement is getting on the ground, is being fed back up through to our National Counterterrorism Center, and that we have all of the federal agencies, state and local law enforcement all on the same page as we are working to make our country safe again. And lastly, sir, as you know, declassification and rooting out weaponization, politicization of the intelligence community is a huge priority. You know more than anyone else the very dangerous and negative consequences of that. I've got a long list of things that we're investigating. We have the best of the best going after this. Election integrity.
I'm looking at buying some more S&P 500.
Evidence of how these electronic voting systems have been vulnerable to hackers for a very long time and vulnerable to exploitation to manipulate the results of the votes being cast.
I think we're going to bounce after this meeting.
Forward your mandate to bring about paper ballots across the country so that voters can have faith in the integrity of our elections. And lastly, we've been scanning. I've had over 100 people working around the clock to scan the paper around RFK, Senator Robert F. Kennedy's assassination, as well as Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. These have been sitting in boxes in storage for decades. They have never been scanned or seen before. We'll have those ready to release here within the next few days.
That's great. Bobby, how do you feel about that? That's hitting,
I'm very gratified to you.
That's hitting close to home, isn't it?
No
When you think, I'm thinking about Bobby when that statement's made.
I'm very grateful to you, Mr. President.
And you'll let Bobby see some of this because, you know, it's very personal stuff. But it's time.
I've asked him, and his response is, put it out. The world needs to know the truth.
And his uncle that's been out, and anything that hasn't been out, they can go to your offices and see, right?
Everything that we have within our possession, it's either online or it's physically at the National Archives and Records Agency. We also have hunters going out, Mr. President, and looking in the storage lockers at FBI and CIA and other agencies, specifically to find if there is anything else that has not been reported. We're actively going out and trying to search out the truth.
Okay. Yeah, we want to get it all out.
Yes.
100% good. Thank you very much. Good job, guys.
Mr. President, on behalf of America's manufacturers, I want to thank you for standing up to the Chinese Communist Party and fighting for our main streets, for our workers, and for those that
just
make
bought
things
10
in
more
America.
shares of
I'm on
VU.
a Made in America manufacturing tour, and as I go across the country,
Don't
people
care
are
about
grateful
averages,
to
but
have
I'm
a
lowering it
president
anyway.
who's not just fighting on the tariffs fronts, but to get inflation down, to create jobs. After Biden destroyed 110,000 manufacturing jobs in just his last year, you've already brought back thousands and thousands of manufacturing jobs. So the American worker is grateful. Main Street is grateful for you. And at the agency level, we're making sure that manufacturers have access to the capital they need, but we can't do that if we're not
There you
fighting
go,
fraud.
Sid.
So we've
There it is.
modified our loan applications to have citizenship verification, to make sure we have birth dates, common sense principles around lending that the Biden administration had waived. They waived $450 million of fees in 1 year. We're restoring that for the American taxpayer. And the American taxpayer, as tax day approaches, April 15th, they need to know that this cabinet, this administration, and thank you Elon Musk and Doge for fighting for the American taxpayer to make sure that their hard-earned dollars are well spent, that they have a return on investment for this country, and that we're fighting for them just as you are every single day. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, we are working at HHS to advance your agenda to make America healthy again. I'm working with Lee Zeldin to reassess the fluoride rules based upon the August release by the National Toxicity Program of new science that shows a direct inverse correlation between exposure to fluoride and IQ loss, particularly in children. Lee and I were in Utah this week, to announce that Utah became the first state in the
I just
country
bought exactly at that
to ban
dip,
supplemental fluoride. I'm working with
and it's going up straight again. There you go.
And
That's 20 shares of VU
in
today.
24 states who are advancing MAHA legislation
to get soda pops off of the food stamp program, off the SNAP program. We've launched Operation Stork Speed to get the bad chemicals out of baby formula. We're working with governors across the country to get good food into the school lunch programs and to get rid of food chemical dyes and other bad chemicals that are in our food. We've shown now that this directly affects academic performance, violence in the schools, and mental health, as well as physical health. We are working with governors across the country to get cell-to-cell or bell-to-bell legislation to restrict the use of cell phones in schools, which again dramatically impacts.
Please tap the like button, share this out. Thank you.
Today we announced a dramatic reduction in animal testing at NIH and FDA. We're going to switch over to AI, which we've now found is much more precise in identifying the impacts of toxics in various products. We're working with Elon, who's done an incredible job to eliminate the redundancies and to streamline operations at all the health agencies and to recalibrate our trajectory to your agenda of making America healthy again. And finally, on the CDC has done an amazing job at getting the measles outbreak under control. We have about 680 cases now in 22 states, compared to the same outbreak in Europe, which is 127,000 cases and 37 deaths. Our numbers in this country have now plateaued. And I want to thank CDC for that. And we're trying to refocus the press. We've had 3 measles deaths in this country over 20 years. And we're trying to refocus the press to get them to pay attention to the chronic disease epidemic as you've asked us to. We have now 38% of American youth are pre-diabetic. This was unknown 30 years ago. Every child that becomes diabetic, there should be a headline about them. We have 100 million adults who are pre-diabetic or diabetic. And we have, we have now, the autism rates have gone from now most recent numbers we think are going to be about 1 in 31, 1 in 20, so they're going up again from 1 in 10,000 when I was a kid. And we are going, at your direction, we are going to know by September. We've launched a massive testing and research effort that's going to involve hundreds of scientists from around the world. By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
So big. Think of that. So it was 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and now it's 1 in 31. Not 31,000, 31. That's a horrible statistic, isn't it? And there's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. So you think you're going to have a pretty good idea, huh?
We will know by September.
There will be no bigger news conference than that. So that's it. If you can come up with that answer where you stop taking something, you stop eating something, or maybe it's a shot, but something's causing it. It can't be from 10,000 to. Can you imagine that, Marco? That's a big number. Thank you very much. You're doing great. Thank you, Bobby. Please, Doug.
Well, Mr. President, one of your primary administration goals is to make sure that we unleash American energy. And of course, the strategy behind that is when we do that, it helps make it more affordable for all Americans. Energy isn't just industry, it is the foundation of every other industry, whether it's food, manufacturing, clothing, transportation. And then also when we've got the ability to generate and not just be energy independent, but energy dominant, then we have the opportunity to sell energy to our friends and allies versus them buy it from our adversaries. And our adversaries were funding terrorism and conflicts against our allies by their oil and gas sales that were going through a Swiss cheese set of sanctions. So with your creation of the National Energy Dominance Council, over half the people at this table serve on that. Everyone has been engaged, whether it's interactions with negotiations with other countries, with putting sanctions in place that actually work, with cutting deregulation, working on biofuels, building infrastructure for transportation. There's a whole range of things that are being tackled. But when in the outcome of all that is that the Biden administration was restricting supply, you're increasing supply. When you increase supply, then prices start to come down. And we have a huge opportunity to do this. Just in interior alone, there's 500 million acres of surface, 700 million acres of subsurface, and 2.5 billion acres of offshore. And the Biden administration was trying to restrict this so that you couldn't get a timber lease, you couldn't cut a tree, you couldn't graze a cow, you couldn't develop oil and gas minerals, and you couldn't develop the critical minerals we need for our technology, for our defense industries, and to be able to help us win the AI arms race against China. So we're opening up this, and with your executive orders and your work, we've on Tuesday, historic day, you ended the war on beautiful clean coal, which has been going on since Obama took office. China gets 60% of their electricity from coal. They're opening up they've opened up 94 gigawatts of coal in the last year as part of this AI arms race. 94 gigawatts, that's enough for 94 Denvers. To be able to 1 gigawatt per metro area like that, it's unheard of. So we have an opportunity under your leadership to come back. The Gulf of America had its first offshore lease sale, which is scheduled for later this year. But that was the industry loved that because the Gulf of America is now open for business again, and there's as much as 7 billion barrels of oil accessible now. They've increased the upside of what they think that is. On the coal front, the estimate is the financial value of the coal in America is $8 trillion. That was an asset on the balance sheet that we've now been put back on again.
Donated
and of course, in Alaska, with your
$1.99
separate
to a super
orders
chat.
to unleash Alaska energy.
Thank you so much for your super chat. It supports the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All of those, we've reversed Biden decision. Those are all open for business again. And all of this is leading to the investment coming to America. The smart money is coming to the U.S. That's why we've got trillions of dollars of investment that are showing up at the door, because they know if they're going to do manufacturing here, there's going to be energy to power their plants. And so, again, thank you for your leadership and thank you for everything you're doing.
Very good. Thank you. Marco.
Well, Mr. President, one of the most important things I believe you'll achieve in your presidency is reordering the world in a proper way. For 31 years, more than 31 years now, multiple administrations have allowed the Chinese to deindustrialize this country, to take away jobs and factories and pillars of our national strength. And what you're doing now, I think, is a great service to our country, but ultimately to the world. And I want to congratulate you and your team that's working on that, because it has extraordinary geopolitical implications, as you see, from all these other countries that are now coming here and wanting to join something that actually makes it's crazy to allow these. I mean, basically, we lived in a world where Chinese companies can do whatever they want in America, but our companies cannot do anything over there unless they allow it, and even then they steal our stuff and reverse engineer it. So just reordering all of that has dramatic implications on peace and security of the world. So we thank you. An important meeting, thanks to you, is going to happen on Saturday for the first time in a long time. There'll be direct talks between Ambassador Woodcoff and a top-level leader in Iran. We hope that'll lead to peace. You've been very clear what Iran is never going to have is a nuclear weapon. And I think that's what led to this meeting, and we'll wait for him to come back from it, and we're hopeful about that. I would also say that we are receiving, and I think the Department of Homeland Security can confirm this, historic cooperation from countries all over the world. Number one, in taking back their citizens. Every country in the world has to take back people that are illegally in another country. And we have countries that refuse to do it, or will kind of ignore our calls. All of them are doing it. The ones that are not are paying a price. And we've also found cooperation in other countries that are willing to take some of these people, some very dangerous criminals. I know the President of El Salvador will be here next week, has really been a good friend of the United States in that regard. These are some of the worst people you'll ever encounter. And
it's what this channel is about. We can all talk, we can all share opinions, everyone has a voice, everyone's making money. The Lucasades were a family. I love that comment.
Your leadership's actually under your executive order. If you come to this country as a student, we expect you to go to class and study and get a degree. If you come here to vandalize a library, take over a campus, and do all kinds of crazy things, we're going to get rid of these people. and we're going to continue to do it. So when we identify lunatics like these, we take away their student visa. No one's entitled to a student visa. The press covers student visas like there's some sort of birthright. No, a student visa is like me inviting you into my home. If you come into my home and put all kinds of crap on my couch, I'm going to kick you out of my house.
Hear, hear.
And so,
yeah, I love that.
That's what we're doing with our country, thanks to the president.
Best thing he said all
least,
day.
very important development this week, but both Pam and I were very excited. The finest higher education institution in the United States, University of Florida, is also now the national champions in basketball, and we hope you'll host them here soon, Mr. President. Go Gators.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming very soon. Well, thank you very much. You're really doing a great job. We appreciate it. Any question?
Mr. President, can you give us a reaction to today's stock market drop, and also give us a sense of the next steps with China?
Well, I haven't seen it because I've been here for 2.5 hours, so I'll be seeing it. I think Scott went out. Scott, you want to have a statement on that?
Sure. Look, the up 2, down 1 is not a bad ratio, or up 10, down 5. And I think as we have talked about, as we go through the queue and settle with these countries who are going to bring us their best offers, we will end up in a place of great certainty over the next 90 days on tariffs. We had very good inflation numbers today. Oil's down. We had a successful bond market. So I don't see anything unusual today.
And next steps for China, sir?
Well, we'll see what happens with China. We would love to be able to work a deal. They've really taken advantage of our country for a long period of time. They've ripped us off beyond anybody, nobody. How people stood for it, sitting in my position, is not even believable. And we're talking about many presidents, not just a couple. But they did, and all we're doing is putting it back in shape. We're resetting the table. And I'm sure that we'll be able to get along very well. I have great respect for President Xi. He's been, in a true sense, he's been a friend of mine for a long period of time. And I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries. I look forward to it.
Mr. President, China retaliated today.
Just tuned in and bought 20 more shares of VU on that dip at the bottom. Don't chase it now. It's too late again.
I think I've heard of worse things. Yes, please.
Also on China, the Ukrainians say they have evidence that Chinese soldiers have been found fighting for the Russians in Ukraine. Can the U.S. verify this? And if so, what does the U.S. plan on doing to China to counteract that?
We'll look into it, but I think beyond that, we're really looking to get that war stopped. They're losing 2,500 and even more than that young people a week. They're Russian and they're Ukrainian. They're not American, but they're people. And we're seeing if we can get it stopped. And I think we're making progress.
Please tap the like button. Shares it out to more people. Thank you.
Who was released. It was at the request of a very good friend of all of ours, actually. Dana White called
More
me
big
and he
news
said
coming
it's,
up in just 5 minutes at the end of this.
The relationship
Stand by.
of one of the fighters for UFC, or one of the fighters. And Dana's an incredible guy, and we spoke to President Putin about it, and they made a deal. They released the young ballerina, and she is now out, and that was good, so we appreciate that. We hope that we're going to be able to make a deal relatively soon with Russia and Ukraine to stop the fighting. It's so senseless. It's such a horrible thing. It would have never happened if I were president, but it did happen, and we were given that card. And I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get it stopped. Got to get going. We got to get it. We have to move it faster. Likewise with the hostages, we're making progress. There's 59 hostages, but only 24 of them are living, and that's the way it's been presented to me by the mothers of some of the dead, mothers and fathers of some of the dead hostages, and they want the bodies of their baby, as
Build
they
Your
say,
Own
their
Empire
baby.
donated $1.99
Young
through a
boys,
super
they
chat.
They want them back.
Thank you.
As much as
Please write
they
a
were
comment and
alive.
it will
It's
share it
amazing
out and read it out. Thank you
when
very
I met the
much.
hostages 2 weeks ago here, I couldn't believe what they had to go through, by the way. But when I met them, they said, yeah, there's 59, but 24 are living. And they actually consider, I guess if you're a parent, you do consider it this way, that the remainder who are dead, the 24 that are alive, the remainder that are dead, they want them back just as much as they would want them back if they were alive. It's really pretty amazing and pretty sad. So we're getting close to getting them back. We have a lot came back. A lot of people are very grateful. Some came back in pretty bad shape. Some came back, they're okay. I think they're going to be scarred mentally for a long time, because if you sit down and talk to them, as I have, what they went through is incredible. But we're making progress. We're dealing with Israel. We're dealing with Hamas, and it's a nasty group.
Mr. President, how close are you to the first country coming to actually make a deal with the United States over tariffs? Is it days, months?
Well, I think it's very close, but we have to have a deal that we like. We don't want a deal that's going to be a bad deal, or I could make every deal in one day if I wanted to. I could do this all in one day. I could just say, here's what we'll do. And I was saying to the people before, to Scott, mostly to Scott and Howard, and some of the other people that work with us on the negotiations.
It's very good. It's why I bought again today, another 20 shares of the S&P.
In the form of legal fees. We're going to
never sold a single share yesterday.
Use those firms to, if we can, I think we can. I'll make a contribution to the country, but they're great firms. They're the best firms, the biggest, and really the most prestigious. And we may be using
it's bullish
them to
for the
help
American
you guys
economy.
out,
It's why I
because you're
bought
gonna
it.
need a lot of lawyers, and I'm not sure Pam's going to be happy if I say, can you send over about 200 lawyers that work on trade? She's working on criminal stuff, and I think that's going to be her focus more than anything else. So we'll find out if we can do that. But we have a lot of lawyers that you've been reading about where they paid $100 million a firm on average. Now we have
bought
the final 4 or 5
again today,
are at
right at the bottom.
$125 million. So I have a lot of legal fees I could give to you people, and we might as well use them. Hopefully I won't need that many legal fees or that much. I may. Who knows? After it ends, after we leave, maybe I'll need it. But if I do, it's not going to be very pleasant. So I think we're going to try to use these very prestigious firms to help us out with the trade, because we have a lot.
I've got
of
a big
countries.
story coming up at
But
the
we
end.
want to
Please
make
stand
deals
by.
that are proper for the United States, not just we can make deals easily. We want to make them proper.
Mr. President, if you aren't able to reach the deals that you want to see at the end of the 90 days, will you put those higher tariffs in place, or will you extend
Well, that's what
pause?
would happen. I mean, if we can't make the deal that we want to make, or we have to make, or that's good for both parties, it's got to be good for both parties.
You wouldn't
And then we go back to where we were.
go back to the numbers that you
Yeah,
announced last week?
I think so.
You wouldn't extend the pause?
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens at that time.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said yesterday you were considering some exceptions for companies. Can you talk about what you're considering? And then also on the reciprocal tariffs, that they'd be substantially lower. Is the same math formula going to be used, or is that tossed out?
I'm not considering now for any country or company, but it's possible that I would. But I'm not. We don't have that situation right now. People understand where we are, what we're going to do. But it could happen. It's called flexibility. You have to have certain flexibility.
Best investment without a shadow of a doubt is the S&P 500, has been now for weeks.
Paying down national debt, reducing taxes, creating good budgets, helping Christie with the border and all of the other things. I built hundreds of miles of wall, as people now understand, 571 miles of
Here it
border
goes.
wall in the first administration.
Don't chase it now, it's too late.
But we're going to beef it up. And
I
we're
gave you the
going
buy
to
zones on all
add
my
more.
socials and on Extra.
And the numbers are incredible, really. The numbers.
There it
of
goes.
What's taken place. We had great numbers, but these numbers are topping my last administration. And Christie and Tom Homan have done an amazing job. But it's an expensive process. This weekend, where they used to have hundreds of thousands of people standing there pouring through the border in Tijuana, Mexico, this weekend they had nobody. You had a man sweeping this massive piece of concrete, which is, the area where they said massive. And I've looked at that during the Biden administration. You couldn't see a piece of that concrete. There were so many people on it. You couldn't, if you had helicopter shots, you couldn't see concrete. Now, this weekend, you had nobody there but a man with a broom sweeping it and cleaning it up. Pretty amazing. It's really an amazing job. But it will be used for that. It'll be used for a lot of things. It'll be used by the Department of Justice for
straight back to all-time highs.
Doing a great job. Pam is doing a fantastic job. So
Fantastic.
It's going to be used for a lot of different.
God, dear me. Ooh. Should be illegal to make money this easy.
Can countries negotiate that to bring that
It depends on what they're adding. You know, some countries we have massive deficits with, or they have big surpluses with us, and others it's not that way. So it depends. That's why it's really they're all different. Every country is different. Some have certain advantages that others don't have, and certain things. We have China has a surplus of $1 trillion. I mean, the numbers are crazy.
Please tap the like button. It makes a big difference. It shares it out. Thank you.
Basically no surpluses. You know, we have some that are pretty even, but they hurt us in other ways, and we just want to get that taken care of. So everyone is a little bit different.
So are you negotiating with the EU as one bloc or individual nations for the tariffs?
We're looking at it as one bloc. They've been very tough, but they were very smart. They were ready to announce retaliation, and then they heard about what we did with respect to China and others, but China, and they said, you know, we're going to hold back a little bit. They decided to hold
Look
back.
at this, folks, the S&P 500. Look at this.
Smart, but they really have taken
Don't tell me you can't make money on the S&P 500.
for the purpose of taking advantage of the United States.
Yes, you can.
I don't blame them, and I don't blame China. I don't blame anybody. I blame the people that were sitting
$3
at
grand
that
in,
desk and that other
in fact,
beautiful
$7
Oval
grand in 30
for
minutes.
allowing it to happen. Many presidents I blame. They should have never allowed it to happen. And I'm doing something that a lot of them wouldn't want to do. But I'm here, I do those things, and we're going to make this country great again. We were taken advantage of by almost everybody. I sat back in the last administration. I would actually read them. I don't have to read them now. I know them so well. I would read some of these documents that were signed, deals, and I said, who would do a deal like this? Who would do it? You've seen it, Elon. Yeah. I'd look at deals where it's so one-sided. Even we have a deal with Japan, and we get along great with Japan, and we had the Prime Minister here. He was fantastic. As you know, Abe was great. Shinzo was great. He was a good friend of mine, unfortunately no longer with us. But we defend them, but they don't have to defend us. I said, that doesn't sound too good. But we have a deal, a defense deal. We pay hundreds of billions of dollars to defend them. But if for any reason, in other words, we pay all the money. They don't pay anything. But if we're ever attacked, they don't have to do a thing to protect us. I said, oh, that sounds like a wonderful deal. So that's just one out of thousands. And I just wonder who did this. And it's people that either hate our country or didn't care, an expression that you use. I think it's really a lot of them didn't care. It's just hard to believe how bad they are. Now, that's a little bit of a defensive deal, but I'm talking about trade deals, the same thing. They're so bad, you would say, how come? And even when I'd renegotiate, like, I'd go to a country, they'd give me everything I asked for. I said, why didn't somebody ask for it, like, originally? They give me everything. I think when they were negotiating, they didn't care, or they didn't ask, or they were shy, or they were very stupid, or they hate our country. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
You were speaking about
I have a big announcement at the end. Please stand by.
Vision is for U.S. Steel. You referenced it yesterday.
Yeah.
There's some questions about what you actually want
Sure.
to see out
Look,
of that.
U.S. Steel is going to do very well now because of tariffs, and I don't know why they even need a deal. But the only thing is, U.S. Steel, if you go back 80 or 90 years, that was a behemoth in this. That was our biggest, most. If we were around, we would have been very proud of it. Today, we have different types of companies that are big. Google, it's not the same as U.S. Steel, and I love Google, and I got to like the people that run it. They're very capable people. They didn't like me so much in the first administration, but they like me a lot now. I don't know what happened, but I like them. But, you know, I think they would be the first to admit, when I envisioned, you look at some of those steel factories from 90 years ago, it was a different kind of a country. but they were miles long. Today you see just empty hulks. Those hulks are going to be filled up very soon because of what I'm doing with tariffs. It was a different kind of a thing. But if I didn't do that in the first term,
Bank of America signals are coming in again.
Put tariffs on.
Bye quick. Bye
China
quick.
and others
Don't chase it now. It's too late. But
billions of dollars of steel.
There we go.
Our steel companies were all closing. Every fact, we wouldn't have one steel plant open, and now we have a steel industry that's doing very well. But soon it's going to be thriving, really thriving, and those factories are going to be filled up. But more importantly, they're going to build brand new ones. Nucor and so many other companies call me. Nucor being a big steel company, they're building massive new steel plants, and it's great. And likewise, car companies. We have many car companies. 3 of them. I'm not looking to hurt Mexico, and I like Mexico. And by the way, I think the new president is a terrific person, a fantastic woman. We've had many conversations. She's a very elegant, just a fantastic person, and she's been very nice, very nice. But I'm not looking to hurt them. But we have 3 car plants that were under construction in Mexico. They stopped constructing, and now they're going to build in the United States because of tariffs. See, we should have never let this happen, because whoever it was that was president at the time, we lost 90,000 plants and factories since NAFTA. 90,000. It's not believable. How about that, Laura? You know, you're in that sort of world of factories and plants.
Manufacturing, construction jobs, bringing those workers back home.
That's right. We're going to bring them all back. But think of it, from that period of time, which isn't so long ago, we lost. I said the other day, if you had a map on a big wall like this, and if you had pins, 90,000, I don't know if you'd have enough. I don't think you'd have enough room on the map to put the pins. 90,000 factories that we've lost since NAFTA. And it's not even, and about 6 million jobs, but really, I think probably a lot more than that, but they say 6 million jobs. We're going to bring many of that back. I think we're going to bring more than all of it back. We're going to be better and stronger than ever before. But if a president, when they were leaving, said, look, you can leave, but if you're going to build a factory someplace else, and you think you're going to come and sell your steel or your car or any product that you make, your pharmaceuticals, which we're going to do, we're going to get them all back. But if you think you're going to just, all they had to do is say this, and they wouldn't have left. You know, I said it the other day. I said it with respect to, I made a speech a year ago, and I told them if I win, we're going to charge a big tariff at the border. And people were thinking about building in Mexico a car plant. And I said, we're going to have a big tariff. So if you want to build a car, you're going to have to pay 25% more than the cost of that car. You're going to have to pay 25% tariff at the border. They would have never left.
I apologize. Stand by.
Everybody. If a president said, if you leave this country, you leave Michigan, you leave Detroit, you leave anybody, any of our states, because to me they're all the same. I love them all.
I apologize.
I love them all, and I probably won them all, but they say I won most of them, but I think I won them all, but that's okay. But all you had to say if you were the president is, if you leave and you think you're going to now fire all those workers, leave all that, everything behind, and you're going to build in another country and sell it no, you're not going to. You're going to pay 50% or 100% tariff. They would have never left. And all you had to say, Marco, all you had to say very simply is, you don't have to write it down. All you have to do is say it verbally. If you leave, you're going to pay 100% tariff. Therefore, don't leave. They would have never left. But they left 90,000 plants. I mean, it's hard to believe that many. It's not, you can't envision it. So just getting back to your, because I'm the great weaver of all time. To weave, you have to be a genius. To go on tangents, anybody can do that. But we'll get back to your original U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel is a big name in this country. It's Babe Ruth is a big name. We have a lot of big names, but not too many. U.S. Steel is one of the great names in the history of our country. And normally I wouldn't mind so much. I wouldn't be thrilled with it. But to buy for a foreign country, and we love Japan, but for a foreign country to buy that cherished U.S. Steel brand, That's hard for me to do. I mean, somebody else may want it. The company Nippon that's involved with it is a big, powerful company who do a good job. But why can't they just build a plant themselves? I mean, why do they have to, take U.S. steel? So as you know, I rejected
Big
the deal.
news I've
Now
got
they've
coming
come
up
back
at the
in a
end of
different
this.
form. They're
Please
coming
stand by.
back as an investor. And
I'll
I
drop
feel
the links
better
you need in
about
the
that,
chat.
I guess. But, I know them very well. I know the thinking. It's the investor. They'll invest, and somebody else maybe is sitting in this chair, and they will no longer have an investment. They'll have the whole thing. That's the way it works. They're very smart. They're very, very smart people. We're dealing with very smart people throughout the world. Great geniuses, actually. Look what they've done to our country. And again, I don't blame China. I don't blame anybody. If I could have done it, if I were in that position, I'd have great respect. I have great respect for the people. They ripped off the United States, and all we had to do, have a president that knew what the hell was going on, and none of those countries would have left. Those companies, none of them would have left. So that's a little lesson in basic business. And it's really basic business. It's not complicated business. It's very basic business. And we'd have every one of those car plants going just the way they were 30 years ago. None of them would have left, but now they're coming back.
Mr. President, the Labor Department has confirmed that $400 million went to fake people for unemployment benefits.
Yeah,
Just what are your initial reactions?
I think it's terrible. I just heard it from Lori, and I appreciate it, and you heard it from Elon's people, right?
That's right.
Elon's done a fantastic job. Look, he's sitting here, and I don't care. I don't need Elon for anything other than I happen to like him. But I'm telling you, this guy did a fantastic job. I don't need his car. I actually bought one and they said, "Oh, did you get a bargain?" No. I said, "Give me the top price." I paid a lot of money for that car. But honestly, he makes a great car. You know what I do with it? I let the people in the office drive around in it. Margot and Natalie, they're all, Chamberlain, they're all driving around the most beautiful car. It's gorgeous. But I did that as a sign of, just a show of support. Numerous people have done that. Just a show of support. Because, he's done a fantastic job, but he hasn't been treated properly. Hasn't been treated properly, yeah.
Mr. President, can you talk to us about your communications with China? Has President Xi reached out at all since?
That was brutal,
Well, I
wasn't
don't
it?
want to say
I don't
who's
need
reached
Elon.
out. I just say that I think it's going to work out, hopefully well.
That shows strength of character,
They're very
that
big.
does. He's
It's
sitting
hard
right
to get
there.
over, if you're me, what they've done to our country. They've destroyed our economic base to a large extent. The good news is we're very vibrant, and we're going to get it back fast. We already have. Look, we're making $2 billion a day now, and during Biden, we were losing $3 billion a day. Biden was a disaster. He was the worst president in the history of our country. And to me, worse than that, because the money you can make if you have the right guy in this position, worse than that was what they did on the border. By allowing the jails of the world, not South America, all over the world, to be opened up so that we take everybody from
Stand by,
Africa,
got some big
Asia,
news coming up at the end of
South
this. That's going to
America,
benefit everybody.
Europe, the bad ones. They opened up their jails and they dumped them in the United States. And now this beautiful young woman who seems to be, boy, she loves what she does, though. I think she loves what she does because she's a patriot. She hates to see it. And Tom and all the people. But for us to spend, hundreds of billions of dollars this is just, I don't know. They either hated the country. Who would do this? Who would want millions of people to pour through an open border? We have no idea who the hell they are. And just walk right through. And half of them, whether you like it or not, you could look at them and you could say, they are not going to help us. These are some rough people. But they'd empty out their jails, and they'd empty out their mental institutions, insane asylums, and they let them into the United States of America. And inflation we can fix, and all of the other things we can fix. We'll get it going. But this is something, it's such a horrible thing, and it's really hard. we have to do deportations. Now we're doing self-deportation. We're coming up with all sorts of ideas. And they must have known it's not going to work out well. And, we want people to come into our country, by the way. We need them badly for the jobs. But we want them to come in legally. They have to come in legally. They have to show that they can love our country. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, stand by, guys. I've got some news to share with everybody. Right. So before you go, because I'm going to go, because I've got to go and have my dinner. I came on during dinner time to bring you this breaking news. A lot of stuff there. If you read between the lines, see the body language and so on and so forth. I put out on my socials that I was buying. I told you I was buying. I bought again on the dip. I will be trimming this time. Because I've now got more than I need to get to $1 million live on the show. I've now got too many shares. Like I said, it should be illegal to make money this easy. It's ridiculous. You've just got to read the information, study, go to work when everybody else is sleeping. We went like 18 hours yesterday. That's one thing I admire with Donald Trump. He likes to work hard. I work harder than anyone. I'm always live. I ain't even got time to make videos. I'm just making live content all day long, talking to the right people. I gave the Bank America signal. I told the 6 people I was talking to. Every time I get this information, I share it on my socials. I'm going to give you some really important information now you cannot afford to miss. All right, if you miss it again, you miss it again. It's up to you. Right, I put it out there 1 hour. I just went and bought VU. All right, I told you I was going to go live before the news, before it was even announced there was going to be an announcement. Before CNBC, before Bloomberg, I had my text, White House press room. I had it. I told you. I went live. I posted this an hour ago before anyone even knew that this was going to happen. Boom, there it is. Trump emergency. I told you I was buying. I put it on. So this is my Blue Sky. If you want to follow me on Blue Sky, I'm on all platforms, okay? There's my Blue Sky. There it is. I'll post it once, take it or leave it. Here's my X account. If you want my X account, there is my X account. I told you I was buying VU. When I was buying it, when I got the text, when I knew what was going on, I bought. There again is the announcement straight away, and so on and so forth. Here's my Facebook. I'll give you the link to Facebook. I don't even promote this anymore. I don't even bother, right? But there's the Facebook. The moment I said I was buying VU, I told you I was buying VU. I got the, thank you, Leah. There is VU. There is the announcement before it was on CNBC, before it was on Bloomberg. It's all about relationships, folks. I share you my relationships. All day, every day. I told you this is Instagram. There is the link in Instagram. So if you want to know when I'm buying, before you see it on Bloomberg, before you see it on CNBC, if you want to know about news items, I've got people in the chat now telling me they didn't even know I was live. These are Lucasades. Unbelievable. Threads. If you like threads, I told you, look, boom, I'm buying VU. Only 2 people even noticed it. There is the event, look. I don't care. There it is in the chat. There is my threads, whatever you call it. All right, okay. Let's get back to some more information that you need to make money, right? So I went in, told you it was going up, told you who was buying, told you I'm buying, and if you look at my all-time high, it's 160. Go, 161. There we go. We're setting another all-time highs, and we're like 25% down. Think about it when it all turns around. Why am I buying this? Is it because of price action? No. Is it because of charts? No. Is it because of someone's telling me? Yes. Is it because of relationships? Yes. That's what this channel is about. I share with you information. I tell you what's going live. I'm not busy making videos telling everyone you're going to get rich in 5 minutes because you're scrambling around in the dirt trying to make money on a YouTube channel, a silly YouTube channel. And I'm saying that and I'm on YouTube because I'm not a YouTuber. I simply broadcast on YouTube TV. Day by day, more people get this. If you're scrambling around trying to make money out of disaster, whether it's boom, telling everyone they're going to get rich in 5 minutes and all the information that you've got is rubbish, you're just lying to make money. Or you're telling everyone it's going to go down the toilet in 5 minutes. You're just guessing and trying to make money. No, I go live. I'm always live. I'm bringing you the facts. Now then, this is the good news that I want to share with everybody. You switch off, don't switch off. It's entirely up to you. But this is what's important, right? I'm going to go and have my dinner now. Hope to be back for the closing bell. It will probably be late because I haven't had a break all day. I've been going live again. I always go live when the Lucas aides need me. Now then, this is the big news. Okay, so stand by. First of all, I want to ask everyone to tap the like button. Tap the like button, please. There are 700 people watching. I think 4,000 have come through the stream the last few minutes. I'm not going to make that up. I'm going to show you what the number is. What is the number? Beg your pardon, 3,000. 3,000 have watched me so far, and we've got 249 likes. That's ridiculous. All right? Tap the like button. It's the most honest channel on YouTube TV. Tap the like button, and it will share it out to more people. Consider subscribing. We're about to hit 76,000 subscribers. We might do it now. You ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. 75,879. Oh, 901. 76,000 subscribers by the closing bell. Could everyone tap subscribe, please? We'll do it live right now. We could do it live right now. That'd be amazing. All right, okay, that's that. Now, let me share with you the important news. This is the important news, right? I'm here to help people, not sell videos. If I was, I'd be off air now making silly videos, telling everyone you're going to get rich in 5 minutes, and if you don't buy now, you're going to lose out, or meet Kevin, go to zero, whatever, or encouraging you to buy dividend-paying stocks, which is a complete rip-off from hedge fund managers who short the market and all the rest of it. All rubbish, all nonsense. No, I share with you real relationships, live CEO interviews, all of that stuff, okay? Here's the deal. Oh, we're rolling around in subscribers. It's rolling faster. There we go. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Now, here's the big news I want to share with you. The big news is just 1 minute away. You can count 60 seconds. I'm not making this up, right? Count 60 seconds from now. I want to give you this first. All right? So I'm not going to delay it. 60 seconds, you can count from now. Here's the homepage where you're watching right now. Scroll down. You will find my 2 other channels. We have a network of channels now. Next week, we go into earnings season, doing 4 earnings a day live. There's the extra, and there is the music channel. Now, tomorrow night, right at the top of the channel, boom, it's the love event. Every Friday night, you join me on stage. People join me all over the world for a live concert. Click on this now. The first few people get a free song request. Live, you can dedicate it to a loved one. The first few people, I'm putting the link like crazy in the chat. I'm spamming the chat. The first few people that, whether you're members, non-members, whatever, whether you super chat me or not, it's a free concert, no ad revenue. I turn it all off. It's to bring joy and fun around the world as we drink beer and get drunk. We have a great time every Friday night. The first few people who put a song request in there, I will do your song request for the first few people. No super chat. Nothing at all. You don't have to be a member. There it is. That's tomorrow night, 4 p.m. Central. Join us. The link's in the chat. Okay. Now the big news of the day. Told you I had to be quick. Today is a very, very special day for something that's way bigger than this channel. This channel is nearly at 76,000 subscribers. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Extra. This is the channel that is going to be twice the size of this channel. It's the Extra channel. Why is this? And why is it going to help you? Listen. Pay attention now. This is going to help you. This channel replays the streams from today's show. So if you missed it, you can watch it live. You go, it's not live, you're just restreaming it. Correct. I'm restreaming it for the benefit of the people all around the world, and we have a bigger audience, a global audience than watch me live right now. We have members in 69 countries and 14 languages. Wait for it. The big news hasn't come yet. All right. Today is our anniversary of the Extra channel. This is it right now. It's pinned in the chat right now. All right. So in a second, it's going to go there live. Right now, this is the good news. I'll put the link in the chat. There is the link for the Extra. This goes live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Today is our 1 year anniversary. Every single subscriber, every single person who watches this is a member. Every single one. Hear me again. 100% of my viewers, not 98 like it is on this channel, 100% of my subscribers are members on the Extra. Why? Number one, it's 99 cents. That's it. The cheapest price I could make it, right? Number one. Number two, it goes live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's never off air other than for a few minutes to reboot the computer now and again and to update security. All right? The reason why this works and why it's important is this. Wait for it. The big news is coming. Restreams today's shows that you missed in 69 countries and 14 languages. The chat is live All this chat is live right now. So people are asking questions, supporting each other. No bots, no scammers, no trolls. That's why we have membership, 99 cents, to keep all the idiots out. So all the conversation is from my real Lucozades, real investors around the world, including our platinum investor who pays $500 to be a member, to watch a free channel. We have a very big investor who watches our channel. Lots of information comes in, folks, okay? You don't want to miss it. That's live in here, 24/7, 7 days a week. But that's not the big news. I am live here. This is me live talking to you now. I'm seeing all the conversations coming in. I'm reacting. I can go live at 3 o'clock in the morning if I wanted to and answer your questions live in here. That's not the big news. Here it comes. First of all, you'll notice everyone today is celebrating their 1 year badge. It's 1 year today. If you become a member today on this day, you will be in the Founders Club. There's only 1 day a year. It's today. It's right now for 99 cents. What does that mean? You are part of the Founders Club. There's going to be a future benefit for founder members, the members who turn on the birthday of their membership. So if you become a member today, you'll get a green badge like this. 1 year from today, you'll have your 1 year and everybody else will have your 2 years. Now, why is that important? Why is that important? Because I'm going to make sure as our channel grows, there's going to be big cash giveaways, prizes, all sorts for founder members. But that's not the big news either. So you want to become a member today on Founders Day. It only happens 1 day a year when you turn the year, okay, for your badge. That isn't the big news. Here comes the big news. Because of the way the channel is growing and the 24-hour live stream, YouTube have given me a facility on this channel that I don't have on the main channel. What is it? Very shortly, you're going to hear my shows in all languages in audio. In other words, I'm going to be speaking in Japanese, Chinese, Russian, Italian, French, whatever. Not the closed captions, the actual audio of my voice. It's a trial from YouTube that has been given to a handful of channels. Mr. Beast has it. I have it. You don't have it on the main channel. That's coming to the extra channel. Working out all the kinks now. Don't know how long it'll take before it actually comes on, but that's what's coming. Founder members get benefits. So all of these founder benefits, that's happening live right now. That's a big deal. Why is that a big deal? Because 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're getting information directly from my sources, which is directly from the top, live, unedited. No channel in the world has this information, and then shares it live in the extra channel in all languages.
Why has become a member on Extra.
Thank you very much. No one is going to get close to what we're doing here. No channel in the world is going to be able to compete with where we are going in the future. No one. Impossible. Making friends is everything, and I'm making friends at the top, and I'm building those relationships, and I'm keeping those relationships for the benefit of the Lucozades. Join me, don't join me, don't make a difference to me. What's important is we do the right thing, we go live, and we're always providing ways to improve the services. I'm going to end. I'm going to grab my dinner. I won't be live at 2 o'clock for the closing bell in 45 minutes. It will be a later show, but I'll try to get back as soon as I can. I've been live all day. So the link for Extra is in the chat. We're going to go live there now. You can watch for free, listen for free, join in for free. If you want to be a member and chat to the members 24/7, it simply takes 99 cents. We do that not to make me money, but to keep the bots, the trolls, the scammers out. We've had an upgrade.
Daniel Martinez has become a member.
Daniel, you are upgraded to silver. You can now go on the homepage of the channel if you request it. You've got your 2-month badge. I can also get you on Discord as well. I can't find the membership for Extra. I shall put it in the link then. You ready? Here it comes. It's in Extra right now. Boom. There you go. I put the membership link in Extra right now. So go to Extra. It's going to take you there. It's exactly the same principle, exactly the same setup as the main channel. There is the link in Extra live right now. Okay, I'm going to end the stream. I've got to go. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, we got more memberships. Look at this. We've got gifted memberships.
KYL has become a member.
We're giving away memberships. Dr. Mark Melton, has just gifted 10 memberships. Absolutely amazing. All right, take advantage of all these perks and benefits. I've got to go. All 10 have just won. Please thank Dr. Mark Dr. Mark Melton for doing that. You've all won. Even if I end, it'll make sure that you all get your memberships. It's already been allocated. It's people that are subscribing, people that are in the show. All right, we're going over to Extra. I'm going to replay Donald Trump's news today. I'm going to get back to my correspondence and try to find ways to make some more money, and I'll bring it all to you later. But now join me on Extra. It'll take you there automatically, or the link is pinned to the top. See you back in a bit. Become a member today. It only happens one day of the year where you celebrate, and you will be in the Founders Club. If your membership is not updating on the year, this day, you're not in the Founders Club. On this day, everyone who has a year on this day will be in the Founders Club for future benefits. It's coming. It's up to you if you want to join our journey or not. That's it from me. Join me on Extra. Thank you ever so much indeed. It's going crazy.
Redbone Rattler donated $5 a super chat on Extra. Who dat baby?
All right, I'll go over to Extra now. I'll talk to you and replay Trump's messages. But I can't keep up with it. All right, I've got to go. Join me on Extra. Bye-bye for now. Ta-ra.